Hello everyone. It is Saturday afternoon and this is our monthly craft along video. Normally I have these videos later in the month, but this month I'm going to be away from Saturday of next week. So I am trying to get everything done before I go, and so we had to go early with craft along this month. Welcome, my name's Linda Dolke. If I haven't met you before, I love having new people with us, so pop into the comments and say hi. I'm just going to quickly scroll through because I can see that a lot of people have been here for 10 minutes or so and they're all chatting to each other. So I'm hoping I haven't missed anything important, like any questions or anything like that. Oh, did you get your second name when you were in trouble, Judy? I must give you a call, Judy. I've been thinking about you this week. Hope everything is going well with you. Let me have a little look. Oh, we've got a few team members today. Hi, Marie. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Leslie. Hello. Hi, Glenda. Nice to see you. We got lots of people popping on, and already we have 26 people here, and it's only just gone 2 o'clock. So that's a pretty good number for already. Hi there, Margaret Janowski. So we have 1, 2, 3 Margarets here tonight. I think, is Margaret my most popular name of my watchers? Possibly. I know we have the 3 regular Margarets that often pop in, and I'd like to wish a very big welcome to all of you. So not bad. That's good, Judy. Good to hear. Hi, Sunny. Nice to see you. All right. Leslie's Outback Snapping says g'day. Hi. Hello there, Shirley, up from the Hunter Valley. Okay. Well, we'll get started pretty quickly because I know you didn't come here to hear me chatter on and say hello to everyone. You came here to watch some crafting, right? Is that what we're doing today? Some of you, all right, let me explain very, very quickly how CraftAlong works. CraftAlong is something I've been doing now. I started doing this in about August, I think about August last year. All right, so it was, and each month it's a different theme. Each month we do something different. We create a project together and I go live once a month. This is different to my Friday nights and my Sunday nights in a couple of ways. First of all, it's a monthly thing and I pick a different theme or a different, where the Friday and Sunday nights tend to be just whatever it is I feel like making at the time, or I take requests. But the Saturday craft-alongs, they're usually a Saturday, are a particular theme or technique. This month, we're doing the Fresh as a Daisy Suite and we're doing it as an online class. Okay, so I'm going to be making one project here with you today. And then the other projects, if you placed an order with me last month, or if you're a member of our team, then you will automatically get the other alternative tutorials as well. They're video tutorials, and there's a document that contains all the measurements and everything, so you have all the information you need to make the additional cards. So it's an online class that I put together. And like I said, if you ordered with me last month, or if you are a team member, then you will receive one of those automatically. However, if you didn't order with me last month, maybe you're a demonstrator yourself, maybe you have a demonstrator, maybe you're overseas and you're not able to order. So if that's the case, then most certainly you can purchase these and they will be available for purchase after this video is concluded. Okay, I will have the blog post up tonight so that you can do that. And I shouldn't be very long. I've done all the videos are uploaded, all the hard work is done. It's just the last little bit of the measurements document that I'm putting together, and that will be attached to the blog, and you can purchase it there if you don't already have it. If you did get a supply pack from me to make this card, that's because you ordered last month, and you will receive the additional tutorials in your email inbox automatically, and that should be out to you by tomorrow, if not tonight. Okay. You're having some rain up there. Well, it's beautiful, beautiful weather here. Absolutely gorgeous, glorious. In fact, I was a bit worried it might be too bright with the sun coming in the window, but it seems to be good. So there we go. All right. Let me just see. I'm keeping an eye on the comments because I don't want to miss any questions. If anyone does have questions, please ask. Please, check in with me. And something else I'll quickly mention before we get started. For those of you who are customers of mine, I'm offering a little promotion at the moment because I'm going away next week, and I just wanted to make sure my business keeps ticking over while I'm gone. So from now until the day I arrive back, the 6th of June, and from now until the 6th of June, if you place an order with me in whether it be the online store or directly with me for $50 or more, I will make sure that you receive from me next month what I'm calling an inspiration pack. An inspiration pack is going to have some handmade cards. It's going to have a pack of embellishments, and it's also going to have a little souvenir from my trip. Okay, so you can look out for that. I'm kind of excited to offer that this time. I haven't really done anything like that before, so it'll be a bit of fun, and I hope that lots of you will take advantage of that. So it's just any order $50 or more. If you like to order by phone, you'll need to do that by next Friday, the 19th of May. Otherwise, you can put an order through the online store, and I'll have the details for that in the description below. Okay, we will have a good trip. Thank you very much. What do I do with vellum? Oh, lots of things. If anyone is watching who's a regular, Linda, I'm renowned for. Some people have called me the vellum queen. It's a title I will accept because I am very fond of vellum, and particularly I'm known for making vellum circles and doing things with those. And we don't have a vellum. Oh, we do have a vellum circle on this project today. There you go. So you're going to see that. See, Leslie's saying vellum queen. All right. So shall we get going? I think we shall. So let me switch over to the desk and let's go from there. All right. For those of you who have the supply packs, your supply packs will look something like this. There is some loose pieces, and then there's also some smaller pieces in a separate bag so you don't lose those. Let's put that to one side for a minute. This is the card we're going to make today. This is because we're focusing this month on the Fresh as a Daisy suite of products. I have made a card. This is what we call a joy fold card. It's not a new fold. It's been around for years, but it opens like this. So it holds, this little flower here is holding it down, and you open it up and you write on the inside there. I have got some stamping for people who already have this set or have maybe another flower set that would work. But if you don't have this set yet, then I'm going to show you how to use the stamps as well as how to use these fabulous dies. They are fantastic. All right, so that's our little joy fold card. I'm going to bring over my catalogue and show you this set. If you turn to page, for anyone who has it, 110 and 111. Here's our beautiful Fresh as a Daisy suite. For those that don't know, whenever we have a suite of products, it always includes a stamp set, usually dies, although occasionally it might be a punch, okay? Maybe almost always there'll be designer series paper, or what we call DSP, okay, which in this case is this designer series paper here, okay, and then something else. So in this case, we've got these beautiful adhesive back dots, which the three colors they've used in those that coordinate with the paper are Lemon Lolly, which is a new color, Boho Blue, these are all new colors, and Copper Clay. Okay, those are the three. The Boho Blue and the Copper Clay are new in colors, and the Lemon Lolly is actually a, here it is here. Let me show them to you. The Lemon Lolly is a new regular core color. So they've mixed them up a little bit there. So hi there, Lynn. Nice to see you all the way from Darwin. Hello. There you go. See, I am getting a reputation for being a vellum user. So there you go. All right. So this is the suite. Okay, we have a gorgeous stamp set. It is photopolymer, not rubber. It's a photopolymer set, and that makes it really easy. These flowers layer. Okay, there are two-step stamps, so you have the outline, and then you have the colored image. You can use them separately, or you can color the outline to make one image. Okay, that's why they call it a two-step stamp. So this one and this one match up. This one and this one match up. And this one and this one match up. And then we've got two flower centers that match the other flowers. So there's some nice sentiments in here. There's 4 really nice sentiments that are fairly useful. My favorite is the wishing you the brightest birthday. And I think this is a fantastic suite. Our catalogue went live. This new catalogue went live on the 2nd of May. And the reason I chose this suite, there's a couple of reasons. First of all, it was available on pre-order for demonstrators to order early, which meant I got to play with it at the beginning and think, wow, this is a really great set. And the other reason is because well, it shows off almost all of our new in colors. Okay, so we've got Copper Clay, Wild Wheat, Boho Blue, Moody Mauve, and Pebble Path. All 5 are in there. Okay, they've added Pretty Peacock in as well, which is really interesting because it kind of lifts all the other colors. I really like it. But there's some lovely samples. It's just a really, really useful set. Okay, and if you're looking for a great set that you can use in a whole variety of different types of cards, birthday cards, thank you cards, all sorts of cards. To me, daisies are a very happy flower, so I think they work really, really well for that. That's okay. Oh, that's okay. We can use up that vellum, Linda. No problems at all. I will definitely show you a few things you can do with it. I love vellum. Vellum is great. Tell you what vellum is really good for. This is on a separate note. If you have a particular paper that you're not super fond of, maybe it's a bit busy or too bright, putting a layer of vellum over that paper will tone it down and give you a totally different look. Okay, so sometimes adding vellum over something is a really, really great way to tone it down. So that is one particular way of using vellum. I'm going to bring in the DSP just so you can get a quick look at it. Now, this is not a full pack. I have chopped this up. As you can see, I've got bits and pieces already chopped out of it. And I did do a video Sunday night of last week where I showed how to use this one sheet to create a whole bunch of different, like about half a dozen cards. Okay, so and we didn't even use them all, but I used these ones, this one, I used this one. What else did I do? I think that was it. Is that right? Anyway, we made lots of cards, and I still have them all here. We did different things like this one here. There you go. I did this kind of split look card with that paper. This one here, we did that one. And so we have, and look, vellum circle. See that, Linda? There's a vellum circle there, and I've used a blending brush over the top because I can't help myself when it comes to it. And this one has a vellum circle behind it to soften this edge. Okay, and that's those 2 papers. So you can see there's lots and lots of things you can do with a vellum circle, but I won't. That's not why we're here today. All right, so there's this paper, and this is not a full pack, obviously. And the back is nice too. It looks like it's been painted. Don't you like that? I think that's really nice. This one I really like. And I have used this in today's. This is the one we used for today's card. So you can see this piece right here, this one here is from this paper. Okay, so that's what I wanted to use. And I've used the blue here, which is actually, it could be this piece, but there's another piece in the pack that also has the blue behind it. I don't know if I have any of that left, but there's a lot anyway. But you can see these papers are stunning. They're really, really beautiful. Oh, there you go. There's that plain blue paper right there, and it's on the back of that one. So super, super nice paper, really easy to use, lots and lots of fun colors, and a great way to use up the new in colors and to show them off in my case. So yeah, so that's what I've wanting to show you, the Fresh as a Daisy paper. And I did mention this before, I think, but generally speaking, a suite takes its name from the DSP, from the designer series paper. So if you are looking at a suite and you're thinking, well, the name of the stamp set is Cheerful Daisies and the name of the dies is also Cheerful Daisies, why have they called it Fresh as a Daisy? Because it got its name from the paper. Okay, and that's generally speaking, that's the rule that they normally follow. If anyone doesn't have one of these and you would like one and you're in Australia, if you don't have one, reach out to me, send me a message, and I will get one in the mail to you because they are fantastic. I love our catalogues. All right, so let's get started, guys. I'm going to get your supplies out. For anyone, and I'm going to try and remember to go through the measurements. Actually, just quickly pull up on my computer. I've got the measurements document already done for this card, so I will just go in there, and if I need to quickly refer to it, I've got it open. All right, so to start with, you'll notice that the card base is Night of Navy. If you have Misty Moonlight, if I had Misty Moonlight, I probably would have used that instead because it's just a little bit softer than the Night of Navy, but it also goes just as well. So if you wanted to use Misty Moonlight, you certainly can, but I didn't have enough at the time to use it when I made the card. All right, so this piece of paper is 22 centimeters long, okay, and it's 10.5 centimeters wide. Now, if you are going on Imperial measurements, the measurements will be different for you. It will be, let me just check it's going to be 8.5 long, 8.5 inches by 4.25 wide. Okay, so you're going to get two of these bases out of one piece of paper. Okay, then I have scored it here for the metric girls. I have scored this at the 7 centimeter mark. So let me show you. So my paper measures 22 centimeters, and then I brought this here and I've popped it in here at the 7 centimeter mark, and I have used my scoring blade and I have scored it so that now I have a piece that sort of comes nearly halfway. It comes almost halfway of the base, okay, when you open it up. And then we're going to have another piece. All right, now this piece in metric is going to be 20 centimeters long, this one, and 7.5 centimeters wide. And you're going to score this at the halfway mark, which is 10 centimeters, okay, because remember it's 20 centimeters long. So if you're doing it in Imperial, and I'm going to just check and make sure no one's asking me any questions, because if I'm missing questions, I won't see them because I'm looking at my other document to make sure I've got my measurements right. All right. Oh, no, that's no good. Leslie, you haven't got a headache? Have you taken plenty of water? You're not dehydrated, are you? Plenty of water and maybe a Panadol, hey? And just relax. Just relax. All right, so this piece, 20 centimeters long and 7.5 wide. If you're doing this in Imperial, okay, this piece is going to be 8 inches long. So here, 8 inches and 3 inches wide. And then you're going to score it at the 4-inch mark, which is the halfway point. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? So now we've got these two pieces. And the way they're going to go is when the card's assembled, this one is going to go this way and this one is going to go this way. Okay, so they kind of go together. So you've got two cards, like a card inside a card. One opens up inside the other. Okay, that's how they are. Then we move on to our white piece. All right, now if you have the supplies, all of these have been pre-cut for you and everything is done. So you guys can just sit and relax, okay? Now, this piece is 14.4, okay, which is interesting because normally I would just do it the normal card base size at 14.3, but I added a millimeter because by keeping this score line right at the 7 centimeter mark, this just needed to be a 1 millimeter longer. So it's 14.4 long and it's 10 centimeters wide. Okay, 14.4 by 10. And if you're doing this in metric to go with the measurements I've already given you, it's going to be 4 inches by 5.25. Okay, 4 by 5.25 if you're doing this in inches. And then we need to cut 2 of these little pieces, 2 of them. Why have I only got 1? That's interesting. I must have put that aside when I was measuring earlier, but doesn't matter. You'll get the idea anyway. So this piece is, for metric, 7 centimeters by 9.5. Okay, and you're going to cut 2 of these. And these 2 are going to go inside here. Now, for those of you who have the stamps or wish to do stamping on the inside, like I did on mine, can you see my pieces here? You might want to, you could stamp them once you put the white in, or you could stamp them first, but I'm going to stamp them first. And the other thing you might notice is I've stamped all the way around here. Now, this is optional. You don't have to do this. It looks nice even if you don't do that. Oh, look, there's my other white piece. I knew it was here somewhere. So we've got 2 of these. Oh, the measurements for those for the metric girls, 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and you cut 2 of those. Okay. And all these measurements will be in the PDF document. Okay, so if you're getting that, don't panic. Everything is done for you. You don't have to write it down now because it will all be there. So I'm going to get my boho blue and my misty moonlight. And on this, the 2 little ones, I'll do this one first. All right. I had 1 daisy down in the bottom left-hand corner and 1 daisy up in the top right. All right, show you that. Bottom left, top right. Okay, and I've used the boho blue. I've used the Misty Moonlight for the outline and the boho blue for the colouring. And then I've used the copper clay for the centre. And the reason I chose copper clay, you don't have to. You could choose maybe a yellow or something like that. But the reason I did that was because these flowers here on the paper have got a copper clay centre. So I just matched it up with those. I hope that makes sense. All right, let me just quickly go back and make sure there's no comments. Oh, yeah, that's no good having a headache. Oh, that's okay, Leslie. It's no trouble. I know some people prefer to use inches, or some people are watching from overseas, and we have to look after everyone as much as we can, right? So there you go. Oh, Donna, that's okay. Never too late. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is, I find when I'm doing two-step stamping, I find it easier to stamp my darker color first, which is normally the outline. It doesn't really matter, but whichever is the darker color is easier to line up first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Cheerful Daisy set. If you're not doing stamping, that's completely fine. You do not have to, all right? I'm going to put my outline and then my coloring stamp on 2 blocks. Got block, these are on block C for anyone who's wondering. And I'm going to do my outline in the Misty Moonlight. I'm just going to do one in this corner like that, and then one in this corner like this. And then I'm going to get my boho blue, which is the light. I'll just close that up because I have a propensity to put my fingers in an open ink pad on a regular basis, so I'm going to try not to do that by closing it up. I know I make people really nervous when I forget to close them. All right, so I'm going to line this up, and because I did my darker outline first, it's actually really easy to do. All right. Oh, that's quite light. It's quite dark actually, isn't it? It's darker than I did before. If you wanted to stamp off and make it lighter, you can do that. All right, and then I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to line it up, and it's actually a really easy stamp to line up. All right, so that's stamped off. All right, so the stamped off version is much lighter. I think I like it better actually. You know what? Let's do this one. Oh no, it's all right. Let's just leave one light, one dark. It doesn't matter. I was going to say if you wanted to do it again, you could turn it over, but I'm not even going to bother. So while I've got these two, these are ready to go, and I've got this 20 centimeter piece or 8-inch piece, okay, that is got the score line at the halfway mark. We're going to put these in, okay, so these are going to match up with this. Is anyone following along with me today and actually crafting? Is anyone doing that? Cherie, are you crafting along? I know you like to. All right, let me just, I'm going to use Tombow, but you could use seal, you could use whatever you would like to use to attach this, tape, whatever. I find tape just takes a little bit longer. If you want quick and easy, then either Tombow multipurpose or the seal are your quickest bets. All right, let me just, and I know some of you like to watch and then craft later. Oh, Judy, you're trying to craft along. Okay. Tell me if I'm going too fast, honey. I'm happy to slow down. I just want to work at a pace that you can feel confident for crafting with me. All right. It is nice to end up at the end of one of these videos with a project and look at that and go, ooh, look what I made. Right? All right. So that is now in there. And this is the piece that's going to go on the front. Now, when we have this closed, okay, so this piece is going to go like this, all right? Then this piece here is at the front. We have another piece for that. Now, you might notice on my card, I've got a piece of blue. So this is the blue piece of DSP. This piece is measured to be the same size as these white pieces, okay? So it should be 7 by 9.5, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check that with my document, making sure I've got them right as I go. Yep, 7 by 9.5 is correct. Or if you're doing it in inches, it's going to be 4 by 2 3/4. Okay, so this one is going to close like this, and this is going to go on the outside. Right, so let's pop that on. Is anyone here a first timer on these videos today? Anyone not done this with us before? Love to hear from you if that's you. It's always fun having new people, and we love finding out where everyone is from because people are coming from everywhere, which is awesome. All right, so this piece is ready to go. Okay, now I've got this white piece is going to go inside here. So basically, when you've put this on, when this goes all together, and you can see it looks quite nice just white. Oh, let's put, okay, we've also got this piece of DSP. All right, this DSP piece is 6.5 centimeters by 10. Okay, or if you're doing this in inches, it is going to be, oh, have I got that right? 4 inches by 2 3/4. That's what it is. Okay, so what we're going to do there this, we're going to put that straight onto this piece. So this flap also, so in the end we're covering up most of the Night of Navy, except what's at the back, of course, but we're covering that so that our card starts to come together and all these colors work really nicely together. You can't go wrong with blues, right? Blues are my favorite. Can't help it. We did a blue and white card last month too. I'll try and do something different next time. All right. So if you are doing this like this, you can see it looks quite nice with just white. Okay. You don't have to feel like you have to have stamping all the way around. But I did do the stamping on this one. And if you want to, it's this stamp here, this little daisy stamp with the 3 little daisies. Okay. I popped that on a block and I stamped it with boho blue all the way around. And I did some dark and some stamped off. Okay. So that they look like they're light and they're dark. I was going to do that today, but I'm thinking, shall we do one that's just white? So at the end, we have one of each so we can compare the two, one with the stamping and one without. What do you think? Hey there, Susan. Edmonton, it must be getting nice there. It's so cold in the winter there. Oh, no problems, Leslie. Thank you very much for saying that. You're crafting too, but you're making your other classes, right, Sharon? I get that. Sometimes it's nice to just work on whatever you're working on, and you can always come back and craft along with this later. So what do people think? Oh, Catherine's crafting with you. Very nice. Is Catherine actually with you physically, or is she somewhere else? Is she at her computer? And Gail is knitting. Goodness me, we've got lots of people doing lots of things. All right. So my question is, will we do stamping on this card like this one, or are we going to leave it white? That is my question for you. And the first person to answer is the one I'm going to go with, because I'd love to know. So no one's answered me yet. It takes a moment for the comments to come through. Oh, she's with you. Well, that's nice. You guys can have a cuppa and a chat and a craft. How fantastic. Well, it's not stuck down yet. Okay, so you like the daisies as the white's a bit stark, says Louise. Okay. All right. Oh, that's nice of you to say, Jamie. All right, so in that case, I think we're hearing that some people think the white is a little bit stark. So let's grab ourselves a block, and I'm going to grab the little daisy set, the little daisy stamp, this one, which is the one I used originally. And for this, I'm going to use the boho blue. Okay, so they're going to be quite random. This is a fairly new ink pad, it's because it was only new out this month. So if when you get a new ink pad, you may need to give it a bit of treatment, like massage it with the back of a spoon so that it actually doesn't have so much ink sitting on the top. That can be really helpful. So if you're finding that your ink's a bit blobby when you first get them, then that's what you probably need to do. All right, now something else is I'm going to stamp this off and then stamp it what we call second generation, or sometimes we call that stamping off. And because it's a photopolymer stamp, the other thing I want to do is I want to have a mat under here. All right, so I'm going to ink it up again and then do a second one, stamp it off. And if you're wondering, well, why would you stamp it off on a separate piece of paper when you've just stamped it already off here? Because if we go over the edge like we're doing, then that bit still has ink on it that didn't come into contact with the paper. And so you'd be able to see that if you did that. So we have to stamp it on a separate piece of paper and then come back. And I'm also turning the stamp so that the image isn't the same every single time. We're getting different parts of the stamp, which gives it a bit more interest. So I'm going to pop this off. And we're nearly there. And I'm just going to turn it each time just to give that bit of interest. All right. Okay, so that's how it looks when we go all the way around the outside. Okay, And all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop some glue on the back, and we're going to stick that straight down onto our Night of Navy card base. Move my mat for a minute and bring my card base in. Now these videos on a Saturday afternoon normally go around about an hour, these ones, ish. The last few have anyway. I hope I haven't just made a liar of myself and end up going too long or something today. So I try and keep them to around an hour because I know it's a long time for people to sit. But hopefully it's worth your while and we're having so much fun that that's okay. All right, so now that we've got this here, we're actually ready to stick this in. So I'm actually going to put some glue on the back here. Whoops, got a stamp stuck to that. And I'm going to, you can once again use seal or tape, whatever you prefer. And then I'm going to get above it because I want to make sure I center this. Someone on a motorbike outside. All right, so I'm just going to make sure that makes good contact. And now we're ready to decorate. All right, so that's just going to dry for a second. It takes very little time, but we are ready to decorate our card. It's looking good already, yeah? Aren't the blues nice? I love this. All right, so this is where our other little baggie of stuff comes in. So here's what you'll need. Guess what's in here, guys? Hi, Linda. Nice to see you. Like peanut butter? Yeah, kind of, except you wouldn't want to eat it. Mind you, I think it's non-toxic. Does it actually say that? I don't know. It doesn't say. I feel like it should. I'm not going to try it. So my recommendation is do not consume. No. All right, so guess what we have? Guess what this is? Linda, are you watching? It's a vellum circle, all right, because I can't help myself. Now, this is actually going to end up here in the middle or, you know, close to the middle of our card. And to give a little bit more oomph, because a vellum circle, it softens everything. It's beautiful, but we're going to get even more creative and we're going to actually add some color to our vellum circle. Now, on this one, I added some boho blue and it's very light. You might not be able to see it very much, but you might be able to see it's just a bit darker here in the middle than it is around these edges. I thought today we might step it up and try a bit of Misty Moonlight and see how that looks, because that'll give our vellum circle even more oomph. And this is a new ink pad, so it's quite wet, and you can see there's a lot of ink blobbed here on the top. But the easiest way is get rid of a little bit of the top surface ink that's on your brush. Start in the middle, but very, very lightly. I'm barely touching the paper. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go bigger and bigger circles and color in the center of our vellum. I'm going to turn it around to make it a little bit more even, although it doesn't really matter if it's not 100% even because our daisies are going to cover up a lot of this circle anyway. All right, but I'm just kind of going around and around. All right, and it looks like this. Okay, so this piece is going to end up on here. All right, and then our daisies are going to go over the top and they're just going to look absolutely beautiful. Okay, the vellum just lifts the whole thing. It's amazing stuff. And if you don't have these are the stylish shapes dies. My favorite dies of all. Love, love, love them. There are 6 circles, 5 squares, and 4 banners, and they are my absolutely most used die set that we happen to have. So if you are looking for fabulous dies that are going to work with everything, that's your starting place. Get those first because they're amazing. And you can I use them all the time. Okay, so this is going to end up here, but we're going to play around with the daisies a little bit and have some fun. First of all, the first thing I want to do is when I cut my daisies out, you'll see that this big daisy here has got some extra pieces that just kind of fall out if you give them a bit of a push. Or you can use your die brush over them and push them out that way, but I'm just going to push them out because there's not very many. There we go. But I don't generally push out the center dots because I like the texture that those create. So I actually keep those. And this die is actually one big piece. Can you see it? That's what we start with, and it cuts this shape. All right, so absolutely beautiful to use. I've put this through my cut and emboss machine. I'm just thinking, should I do a demonstration? But I think most people know how to cut the dies through the die cut machine. And if not, we can do that on a Friday night or a Sunday night. How long does it take for the ink to dry on the vellum? A little longer than it would on normal cardstock because vellum is less porous than your regular cardstock. So it does sit on the surface. And if I put my fingers into it, I can get fingerprints, okay? But I'm going to only handle it around the edges. And once I put all my other bits and pieces on dimensionals over the top of that, we're not going to come into contact with it anyway. So to be honest, I don't know exactly how long it will take. It does take longer than regular cardstock. Okay. Oh, right. Yes, I understand, Jamie, what you meant. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the glue. The glue being like peanut butter. Sorry about that. It is gorgeous already. I know, right? It doesn't take long. All right. So these are going to be layered. Now, in the die set, let me just pull the die set out. And there are actually, these dies do 3 layered die cuts, okay? You've got these 3, this daisy, the big daisy, and this kind of one that looks like a chamomile flower, kind of. Then you've also got this large one that cuts out the stamps, but it's actually also layers with this one. It's slightly larger than this one. And then you've got this one that does detail for these. So these all go together. The 3 of them make 3 layered daisies. Now on my piece today, I've only used two layers because I didn't think it needed 3. But if you want it to be very, very solid, then you might decide that 3 is what you want to do. Totally up to you. But let's just do the 2 that I've got here for this card. I just love the fact that you can create layers with this die set. It's really, really special. I haven't seen them do that before with a 3-layered set, or if they have, I wasn't paying attention. So, but I am now. It looks fantastic. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to position this right here, like so. Oh, and I just did the thing that I keep forgetting to do. All right, I should have, let me take it off because it's not dry yet. What I should have done is grab my water painter, and I need to paint my flower centers before I put the layers on. All right, silly me. Now I'm using copper clay for this because I want to match up with these flower centers that are copper clay, these ones on the DSP. So I'm using the same color, and I'm going to grab just a little block. I'm going to open my ink pad. Hang on a second. Let me close my other ink pad because you know what? You know how bad I am at doing that, guys. I used to have people remind me in every single video to close my ink pads. I don't think I'm as bad as I used to be. All right, I'm going to drip a bit of water through from this, and I'm going to pick up some color, and then I'm just going to paint the center of my flowers with that copper clay. You don't need to be neat. You don't need to be precise. We're just going to add some color in the center, and you'll see why in a second. It doesn't matter if you're precise or not. All right. Yep, that's good. Happy with that. All right, let me quickly clean that little block so I don't end up with that everywhere. All right, so now that I've done that, oh my gosh, now I've done that, have I lost my, yeah, you found it. It's all right, and it's still sticky. Yay. So we're going to pop that now on this, and you'll see why it doesn't matter about being precise. You can see the center there, and you've got your layers on top. How nice do the layers look? Can you see that? Because they're actually, when you die cut these layers, they actually emboss and die at the same time. So you've got some lovely detail on there. All right. So I'm going to do the same with this little guy, which goes on here. Right. Let's pop that on. And I'm just going to pop that on. Make sure it makes contact. And then the last one is this little guy. So all these dies are in the pack. Actually, how many dies are in that pack? I didn't even stop to look. I'm thinking in my head it's like maybe 14. I should check before I start sprouting numbers. All right. All right, just like that. All right, I'm going to turn this over and grab out some dimensionals. And this is another reason why I leave the dots in and don't poke them out, because then I can put dimensionals behind them and no one's going to see them. So that's handy. And I'm going to use a mini dimensional behind this one. And there's another space here for another one if I want to have a little bit more, and I do. So I'm going to take the backs off those. I'm going to stick this on the vellum circle. Just like that. All right. So this now is going to get positioned right about here, right? I'm actually going to move it slightly, which with the one good thing about having the vellum colored with the blending is that it's very easy to remove dimensionals from it, because the vellum kind of adhesive doesn't work as well. I'm just moving that over a little bit. That's better. Right, and I'm going to put some more dimensionals in exactly the same places to position the circle. So here, here, and I'll use my little dimensionals, mini ones, here, and where was the other one? Where did we put it? There it is. Okay. Those off. You like this? Yeah, it's a nice card, isn't it? All right, so I'm going to have that slightly on an angle like that. And the reason why is I want to have room here for my sentiment. I want to be able to pop that right about there. Okay, so let's do the sentiment while I'm thinking about it. And I usually, when I'm doing a sentiment, I do the sentiment in a darker color just because I want my sentiment to stand out. I've still got these couple of pieces left, and we've still got some bling. Look, Jody, we've got, I love this in color bling. How beautiful are these? These are the nicest bling we've had in a while. I've got a couple of favorites, but definitely this is a new favorite for me. This is what they all look like. These are the new in colors: Pebble Path, Wild Wheat, Moody Mauve, and yes, it's mauve. Pronounced mauve here in Australia. I've had some Americans tell me I'm saying it wrong, but actually that's just how we say it, guys. Sorry. Copper Clay and Boho Blue. All right, so there you go. Circle sizes. What is the circle sizes called in the catalogue? The Daisy Suite is coming Monday. Are you after, do you want to know what the size of this circle is? It is the largest of the stylish shape dies. Okay, the largest circle. So from memory, let me just see. I've got another one here. So let me just measure it for you. If you're doing centimeters, it's about 7.7 centimeters across. Okay. What's that? The diameter? That's the right word, right? Or if you're doing this in inches, let me just quickly get my, if you need to know the circle size in inches, it would be 3. It's 3 centimeters. Okay. So, sorry, 3 inches. Beg your pardon. All right. So let's whack this on here. And I've got a block, and I'm going to do the Brightest Birthday because that's my favorite stamp in here. I like this one. I think it's really, really useful, but I like all of them. I like this one too. Your friendship means everything. Aren't they nice words? You made my day. And this one says, oops a daisy, so sorry. Probably use that one less, but I can still see it could have its uses, especially if you're me and you forget stuff, you know. I'm really sorry I forgot. Whoops. All right, so I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to pop that on my label. The nice thing about a photopolymer set, you can see where you're going and it makes it very easy to use. So I'm going to pop this here, and I'm going to do it flat, but I'll need a dimensional here to make it the same height as the vellum. So let me grab my, so one dimensional out there on the end, And then I'm going to put some Tombow here, and we'll have it flat on the circle. Just like that. I'm lining it up almost to the end. Oh, it would help if I took the back off the dimensional. They stick much better when you do that. There we go. It's coming together. It's nearly there. All right. Also in your packs, I did cut everybody one of these little daisy leaves because it looks really realistic to me. I really like it. And yes, it's probably the most intricate and the one that's the trickiest to get out. If you have got a die brush, you'll find that helps a lot to get it out, or you can use the pokey end and pop it out with that. But it's really, really lovely. Now, on this original one, I did not use this leaf. Instead, I used this one. And you can do that. You can leave this one on if you want to, but I just want to show you, if you want to use the other one, you just cut this one off, and then you can use it somewhere else. Like you could have it down here maybe if you wanted to, or not use it at all. And then this one is going to go over here. Now, just a word of advice, you don't want to have this flower too close to here because otherwise you won't be able to open this. So you've got to make sure your flower petal is inside this, and the same with this. We want this to be up, not over this edge, because otherwise it'll just get mangled. So I'm going to add a glue dot behind this. Oh, the blue on the ends of the daisies, that would be nice. That'd be lovely, actually. Didn't think of that. Nice idea. Where is my glue dots? Here they are. All right, so I'm just going to pop that right there behind the bottom of these little leaves, and I'm just going to lift up my petals here, and I'm going to, whoop, just like that. All right. So whether or not you want to use this one is totally up to you. You can if you want to. All right, so the last couple of things we're going to do with this now, we've got a bit of linen thread. Something some people have probably heard me say multiple times is I never allow, oh, actually, it's not the last thing. I never allow myself to run out of linen thread. Well, guess what happened this week? I ran out. Some of you may have found you already have, with the supply packs, a few of you already have bows that have been tied. And here's my confession, guys. You know what I did? I ran out of this twine to put in the packs. So I went and found a few cards that had linen thread bows on them, and I pilfered the bows off the other cards and stuck them in your bags. So, so if you have a bow, it's actually from another of my cards. And I'm sorry about that, but that was the only way I could actually get everyone to have some vellum in their bags. All right. Sorry, vellum. I keep saying vellum. I mean linen thread. Linen thread is fantastic. Like I said, I never like to run out, and this week I did. All right, let me pop a glue dot behind that, and I'm going to just position that there so it looks very pretty. Now, the one last thing, you can leave the card just like this, and it will sit like so. Okay, it'll sit like slightly open like that. If you want it to sit flat, completely flat, then what you can do is do another piece. And those of you with the supply packs will find that you have another piece and another piece left over, and you can do the same thing with the daisy down here. Now, if you want to, you can just have this daisy and layer this one on top, and then you've got, that looks quite pretty. But what I did instead was I actually stamped on this little guy. So I've got this one already. I'm going to go with the boho blue. Moving too fast, Cherie. I'm so sorry. Oh, no. You haven't got time to type. All right. I'm so sorry, honey. I will try and go a little slower. But I'm very sorry if I'm moving too fast for you. My suggestion is to maybe come back and craft along with the replay, maybe. All right. So I'm popping this on here. So it's light, but you could do it darker if you wanted to, but I've done it quite light. And then I put this little guy on top of that. But before I did that, I also stamped myself a flower center. So you can see you've got the little flowers center here. Is it making sense though, Cherie? That's the important thing, because I'd like to make sure that even if you've got to come back and watch it later, at least you've got all the information you need to create the project. Hi, Tanya. All right. I'm so sorry. I will try and go slower, Cherie. Now, before I put that white piece on, I'm going to stamp my center. And then I'm going to add some Tombow. Or whatever glue you want to use. But I do find Tombow is very handy for these kind of smaller pieces. And this one goes here. You can see this one I stamped full strength, and this one I stamped off. So this one is lighter. And this one is going to go down here to hold that card closed. So what we want to do is we want to put a dimensional behind it, but we want the dimensional to go on the backing piece, and then this piece can slide in underneath the daisy. So what I'm going to do is I want my piece, my backing piece to be here, my dimensional to be here. So let me grab my dimensionals again, and I'm going to put it right here on the side. I'm going to, before I take the back off, I'm going to test it, and that's going to be fine. So I'll take the back off, hold this top down, put this piece over, and now the card sits flat. Can you see that? Because it's being held down by this. And when you lift it out, this piece sort of comes up a little bit and it lifts in and out and sits underneath the flower. That's what that bit's there for. If you don't like this here, you don't have to have it. The card will still sit okay. It just won't sit completely flat. Okay. And if you don't mind that, then maybe you don't want this extra daisy. But I wanted to show you. Of course, we have these beautiful boho blue gems. So I'm going to put those on. I'm going to have one down here in the bottom corner on the right. Then the medium sized one over here. I can either have it on the backing, or I can have it on the circle. I think maybe it needs to be on the backing. On this one, I had enough room to put it on the circle, but not so much now. And then this one just goes here to the edge of my greeting. One last thing you could do if you want to is add some Wink of Stella to the center. If you guys like your sparkly bits, then Wink of Stella has got your name all over it. And you're going to just add that in the center of all of our little flowers to make them a bit sparkly. I might need a new Wink of Stella. This one's coming to the end, I think. We can't have that. Okay, how do we do? How do we do? What do you think? Do we like this card? Would you like to see the other cards in the collection? Because that's the next thing. You're way behind, Judy. That's okay. But you get the concept. Excellent. Didn't know I missed all the bits from the stamping, the first daisies onwards, except from tidbits. Sorry. I'm so sorry. All right. I feel like we need to do it more slowly, and I will certainly take that into consideration for the next one. I am going to show you the other projects. So this is the main live project, obviously. These ones are the ones that I have done as additional alternatives. And the reason there's more than one is I did one when I created the card, and the second one when I videoed the card. So, and in one case there's three because the video got messed up and I had to re-record it. So there's three of that one. All right. So this is card number, well, if I'm going to call this card number 1 in this online class, then this is card number 2. And you can see I've got my sample and my recorded version. This one has more pretty peacock on the circle, so I've done that again. Very, very simple little card. Then this one is using the paper from the Fresh as a Daisy DSP. Beautiful, beautiful. Love, and I actually really love these colors. I love the pretty peacock with this. I think it's so nice. Third one, we stamped the daisies because they're lovely to stamp and then cut them out with the matching dies. And I've also brought in some help from the Countryside Corners and made a frame. So that there's a video for that one as well. And then the last one is what we call a trellis card. And this is not my design. This card was created by a lady called BB Cameron. And I have basically redone it with metric and measurements in inches as well. And I think it turned out really, really nice. I did one with the piece, the paling piece behind here of the trellis behind, and this one it's on top. And I'm deciding which one I prefer. I like both. I don't know. Which one do you guys like? Oh, you did CraftAlong? Good, Joan. That's fantastic. Oh, that's okay, Marion. You're never too late. You can always watch the replay. I know. Blue and white is my jam too, Cheryl. Absolutely. All right. So I'm so glad you've been making lots of cards, Susan. It's just fabulous, right? So what I wanted to say is if you love all these, if you ordered with me last month, or if you're in the team, you're going to be receiving all the projects, the videos to make these cards. It'll just turn up in your inbox either tonight or tomorrow. For anyone who wishes to purchase them, I do have them available for purchase, and they will be on my blog very shortly. So check back here in another hour or so, and they should all be there. And the whole idea is that you can then purchase these, and you've got basically an online class using this to give you lots and lots of different ideas of ways to use your beautiful fresh as a daisy bundles. So I'm just going to pop them all out for you so you can see how nice they are. I think they turned out lovely. If for anyone who has often, because I know there is a lot of people that watch my videos live, and because I'll put this one here too. How about that? Put that one as well. But a lot of people say to me, they wish they could order with me, or and if you're not in Australia, you can't order with me, or maybe you're a demonstrator and you don't need to order because you order through your own account, or maybe you have a demonstrator. But this is a great way you can support my business. You can certainly purchase these, and I would obviously very much appreciate that if you wish to do so. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this free class today. I had a great old time. I always do at these. And I'm going to be live again tomorrow night. But tomorrow night is my regular Sunday evening one, and we will be making something with something new. So I haven't even decided what yet, but I'm taking requests for anyone who is interested in putting their hand up to see what we might like to do. Feel free to message me. Okay, guys, so thank you so much for being with me today. Did you have fun? I see we have a sad face from someone. I hope no one was too sad. It was a sad face, and that was from Linda Ashcroft. I hope everything's okay, Linda. But I got lots of love and lots of likes, so I'm very grateful for that. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, because I go live on a regular basis, and there's always something new and something wonderful to play with. Have a fantastic weekend, you guys, and we'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.